the players via the battle.net interface.
Alright guys, well he's our Zerg and he's in the bottom left corner of Cloud Kingdom. He's red, he's Lunatic.
And in the upper right hand corner of the screen, he's got a funny name. He's a part dinosaur in the green trunks, Squeegeedino.
And we already see a probe being pulled. I thought he was going to do something sneaky with it, but with the 9 probe, that's your typical time to build a pylon, get out there, do something, scout a bit. Refresh stream is up. Sorry about that. Just talking to chat briefly. So we do have a forward pylon, and we might just see a forward fast expand. And if Squeegeedino does this, I'm going to applaud him because that is a... I don't want to say it's a master's only level tactic, but it's a master full tactic, and it's an effective way to open up against Zerg.
Definitely. Building, building our buildings on the lower ground usually indicates that we want to go for that fast expansion here. And making that decision to build either Forge first, the Nexus first, is something that you typically have at the higher level of games. But if you were to build a Forge down, that would open up a lot of outlets in the early game, i.e. a cannon rush, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, Lunatic not taking his natural already. This could lead to some one base stuff. You're not typically gonna see Baneling, so we may just see an early speed build. But just a quick comment to him: if you can after this game, or if you could remember after this game, the Raptor logo in the lower right is non-existent. It would appear.
Yes.
The video loop. Not a big deal for right now, though. So we have the spawning pool coming down for Lunatic, 15. But that early gas is really either wonky or suspicious. We'll see what happens with this pylon going down to block the natural. So Squeegeedino playing very harass heavy.
And we actually see a gateway drop down from our Protoss player here. So
yeah, not only up the Nexus.
Seeing that pool, that's probably in response to that, because anticipating some type of early aggression.
And Lunatic going for a macro hatchery, interesting choice. Typically what you'll see, I mean, like, guys, whether you're masters or not, if your opponent is opening with a Forge Fast Expand or just Forge Wall, you're not going to be able to break this very easily. In fact, a Spine Crawler Rush is about the only thing you can do, but you don't want to have to do that. So typically you'll see Zerg players go for the natural, go for the third, and just out-macro their Protoss opponent. But this hatchery in the main, very interesting, along with the fact that he stopped mining gas, getting exactly as close to 100 as possible and going for that speed. Very commendable.
Yes, it is. Indicative of early aggression, and if you're able to get in here and get by before the Protoss player has completely walled off, sure, you can certainly knock him out of the game. But relying on that sometimes is, kind of like going all in a poker game. If you put all your chips onto something that has the potential to be stopped at some point, just if your opponent prepares for it effectively, it can be very risky. But he may be able to catch him off guard. Did just clean this pylon up, so we'll have to see exactly if he does want to push in further with this, or if Lunatic just wants to opt to go for an expansion here. But as you were saying, Rifkin, this is look like it's going to be a little crazy here in the beginning.
And yeah, Squeegeedino I think is going to get caught off guard. Right now, this Zealot I think maybe thinks he's a little bit bigger than he actually is. That is that's a very large gap. Technically, you only want to have one grid point, so you can put a Zealot there to block it. But he needs another gateway, a Cybernetics core, anything to help block this wall.
Is there a probe down in this vicinity? No, there is not a probe down in this vicinity, so if you was to pull a probe, it would take a little bit of time to get across the map, and speed has finished here, Rifkin, and the Zerglings are flooding across the map.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Zerglings jamming one cannon. Oh, look at this, dude. He baits him out of position. That's beautiful, and all the Zerglings going to run right on by. And Squeegeedino, friends, is going to become Squishy-Dino. As his probe line is being pulled, he's going to have no income. And that was a great play by Lunatic.
This is definitely like Mike Tyson just running up on his opponent and punching him as hard as he can in the face.
I think he'd be biting his ear off, am I right?
Because right violence like that, but yes, this is an assault on the main here. All the Zealots are going to go down. The main Nexus is going to be targeted. More Zerglings flooding into the natural, so the probes are going to be forced to engage them head on.
Now this is really unfortunate. I want to comment here for Squeegeedino if he watches this video. The one thing that caused him to lose was that awkward wall. If he had those two Zealots with a proper wall off, it doesn't matter how many Zerglings Lunatic had. No way he would have broken through that wall.
And the GG.